On travel fintech startup Scapia that has recently raised $23 million in a Series A fund round that's been led by Elevation Capital. My colleague Bhavya Dua caught up with Anil Goteti, who is the founder of Scapia. Let's listen in to that interaction.
So to begin with, first of all, congratulations on raising $23 million in your Series A. Now let's talk about this in detail. The round has been led by Elevation Capital and 3 Estate and has also seen participation from the existing investors. So how are you seeing to utilize this money? What are some of the major things that you will be investing from this particular fund?
Thank you for having me. I think it's always a privilege to be here. The money that we have raised, 23 million, is actually going to be used for a bunch of things. One, obviously, to keep improving our product, and our product is quite delightful, and we give a lot of value back to our users. But we are about making sure that the product keeps getting better and better and better. In the current world, there's a lot of expectation from the customers to keep innovating, and that is our company ethos as well. And we will use some of the money to be able to make a lot of product innovations, right? And product innovations will not happen without the right talent. So we'll continue hiring a lot of good talent that is actually ensuring that the product is actually being built in the right way and the customers are having really good experience. So we're going to invest in a lot of talent across various functions, make sure that the company is going along the right path of sustainability and growth, and making sure that we are doing the right things. The other thing that we're going to use the money for is actually a lot of marketing and awareness. We're obviously quite early in our journey, and we are a young brand. Brand needs investment, and making sure that every customer in the country, millions of users in the country, are aware of our product, of what we are offering, our brand, and making sure we are going along that journey. So largely, these are what the money is going to be used for in the coming months and couple of years. Yeah.
Right. Also, when everyone is talking about the funding, the winter in the funding that is existing since the beginning of this financial year, you have raised another round within a span of less than 6 months actually. So what is your take on the availability of funds when we talk about the startup ecosystem as a whole?
Look, it is actually a tough time. I'll be honest about it, that it's actually not easy to raise money at this time, and it is obviously very difficult if you are raising money. But that said, if you have the right fundamentals and you're actually building a good product, you have a good team, you're doing things along the right path, then there are people who are willing to invest and back you. Obviously, the conversations do take longer time given the diligence that are happening everywhere, and there's a lot more focus on long-term sustainability, governance, how you're building the company, what is the team, everything that actually are the right dimensions to look for in a company to before being able to invest. People are looking at everything more carefully, and rightfully so. Unlike during the COVID time, maybe, where things were moving too fast and not being carefully looked at. So it is tough, but at the same time, I would like to say that if you're doing things right, then and if you have the right believers and who have the faith in what you're building and how people are actually seeing your product and what this could lead into longer term, then you will be able to raise your money. Yeah.
Right, so since we're talking about so many major events that happened in the last few months, so they started happening from the time you started your operations. So from then till now, we have seen again festive season, the World Cup season, the wedding season which is ongoing, the coming holiday season. So do you think you'll be able to sustain the growth that you would have seen in your business towards the end of the final quarter and towards the beginning of the next financial year?
Look, I think the macro and the broader picture is India is in a fantastic place in terms of where the economy is, what the growth outlook is for the next 10, 20, 30 years. We are, I would say, at a place where our disposable incomes are rising. A lot of the young millennials are eager to travel, are eager to also live their life the way they want to. The penetration credit is very, very low. People are also looking for the best card with the best experience, both in terms of value and how easy it is to use the product and how delightful it is to use the product. I think if you look at all of these coming together in terms of what it means for our product offering, there is a big tailwind both in terms of credit under penetration and travel, and we are at the sweet spot of both. So while Diwali will come every year, World Cup is once in 4 years, but there is going to be everyday use, and that's what we are seeing. Whether it was since the day of launch, we look at our data every week and every month, not only during the spikes, and we see healthy numbers and cohorts. So I'm confident that the momentum will continue and will build a good brand and platform for the country long term. Yeah.
All right, so talking about the growth outlook of the country, what does the outlook for you look like? What are the targets that Scapia has for this financial year, and what is the vision that you hold for the next 1 to 2 years for the company?
See, I don't want to disclose short-term numbers that we have as targets, but what I would like to say is that our aspirations are huge, and we want to have millions of customers using our product across the country and using it daily, using it not only on the card but also for travel many times a year. And we're not going to be happy with thousands of users. And I think over the next few years, we're going to have millions and millions of users coming and using our product. So I'm not in a position, I don't want to disclose short-term financial targets, but those are what we are aspiring for longer term. Yeah.